believe Lamborghini even made an off-road Huracan, right? We're gonna have a 1,000 horsepower twin turbo everyday driver.
Bolt it on and go.
This will be the first twin turbo Sterrato in the world.
Facto, definitely.
First one ever.
I don't think that another one is going to exist nearly as quick as this one. We're moving right along. We scanned the ECUs to make sure they work the same as the Evos and all the other Huracans that are out there. We're going with full Motec standalone ECUs. We're adding 2 aftermarket fuel pumps. We got to access where the fuel tank is and get into the pumps and install new parts for that. And come Monday, we'll be moving along really quickly, getting all the turbos installed, the intake manifolds. I think we're gonna be shooting for about 800 wheel horsepower on pump gas, and E85 we should be making 1100 without any issues.
So the Sterrato specs are amazing, but I think one thing that people are gonna wanna know a little bit more about is this shirt.
Save Brittany, dude, save Brittany. I've driven 1,000 horsepower Lamborghinis, but 1,000 horsepower off-road Lamborghinis, that's what I'm talking about.
And the Sterrato has been under the knife still for the past 4 or 5 days getting everything ready for the twin turbos. And Heath from Boost Logic has flown in and he is helping crank on the Sterrato to make sure it's ready to go by the end of this week. All right, check this out. Yeah.
That's
looks a little dirty back there.
That doesn't airflow like you want your air to flow. To explain how cool this really is, this is 4 pieces of billet aluminum. So this has been machined out of a solid chunk of aluminum. This pipe here, all of this isn't welded on. This is one chunk of forged aluminum that's then been machined and billeted to make this beautiful piece. Titanium intake, titanium exhaust, our precision turbos, 2 of the swirly twirly boys installed on the back. There's nothing cooler than a twin turbo V10. Okay, this thing is gonna make some insane power.
You Heath?
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you. I'm a case. But dude, thanks for coming out and making this happen. Heath builds monsters. That's what he does.
I guess you can say that. Yeah, we take these average everyday off-road Huracans and turn them into 1,100 horsepower. I don't know, a little more of a monster.
Heath is a master of Huracans. You've been working on these for years and you've done hundreds. I mean, more than hundreds.
I think we're at 120 now. This being the first Sterrato, and I believe it's the first that's been turboed.
Yes.
Unless somebody else is working on one right now. This is the only one I know of.
Yeah.
Under the knife.
Totally. And so that's why we're super stoked to work with Boost Logic. They were actually the ones willing to participate and join in on the fun of this. Maybe another company that might go unmentioned, that might be mentioned, wasn't down for the fun that we're gonna have.
Yeah.
So we're grateful to Heath, the Boost Logic team, for coming out and making this happen. So can you just give us an update as to where the build is at right now and where everything is going?
Right now we're in full teardown mode. We've got the front bumper off, rear bumper, everything blown off, the exhaust intake manifold off. Fuel system is already in. We went with an AMS fuel system on this build, and then full standalone Motec. Those are about ready to plug in. Everything's about to get slapped together at this point.
Nice.
We're really about to start burning the midnight oil and get this thing ready to go on the dyno, I guess, on Thursday.
Hey guys, what do we have going on here, dude?
What do we not have
going on?
going
Torn apart Sterrato, the redneck Sterrato. Who's Heath? You're Heath.
Yes.
Hey, I'm Ron.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think it looks like we got a big mess on our hands, but there is light at the end of this tunnel.
Okay.
So
How quick can we get this thing put back together?
Well, we're looking for an O-ring, and as soon as we get that O-ring, things will start to get slapped back together.
Okay.
And
we're waiting on one O-ring.
yeah, from the dealer.
Little teeny
looks like
one
of
those. That thing was
Look at
holding
that.
up.
One of those.
You see that? Can you
look
see
at
it? That was holding up the Sterrato billet. Check that out. All right, don't lose this. Heath, do you understand what I'm doing with this car?
Yeah, absolutely. And I made sure the tuner is full aware of it too. So
And I made sure to show him though the rendering of the deer on top. That's too small.
the bloody
right?
deer. yes. In fact, I might need to keep that crappy rack on until we get a different solution, just so I can strap a dead deer to the top.
That's kind of where we're going with it.
Here, come look how bad this rack looks. Not that the rack itself is bad, it's that these cross beams. Like Go Rhino, they make a really quality product, but look how high up off the rooftop it is right here. So we have to figure out how to mount this thing, taking these crossbars off to get it lower to the ground, so that I can strap a dead animal to the top of it.
The first big task was actually getting the seats out, getting all the electronics in here pulled, just to get to the fuel tank, where we then had to modify the pump that sits in the bottom of the tank to put back 2 pumps inside instead of 1.
Okay.
So not only a bigger pump, but 2 of them.
Yeah.
To keep up with everything that's going to be going on. From there, we then had to put the new coolers up front to run the plumbing to the rear, and get the injectors back in with the new billet manifolds. And really from there, it's kind of playing with Legos.
Honestly,
Doesn't take
holding
a
up
lot.
the turbo and the exoust is like the easiest part.
Absolutely.
That's
Okay,
like,
so it doesn't take a lot to like get everything back together.
yeah, this should be running under its own power.
Okay, cool. Heath, how much horsepower should this thing put down on pump? What do you think?
So we'll probably limit it around 850 on pump.
Okay.
We could stretch it a little more, but given the use that you're going to put this thing through, probably better err on the side of safety.
Okay.
And then on ethanol, we should see like 1050
So
conservatively.
85, that's
Yeah.
to the wheel, so roughly 1200 horsepower crank-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And at 850, I mean, you're pushing 1,000 horsepower everyday driver, right? Like crank
Yeah,
horsepower.
and it should live forever on pump gas at that power,
Okay.
especially with Motec and all the fail-safes.
This is the world's first, to my knowledge, the world's first twin turbo Sterrato. Like they only hit a month ago, right?
Yeah.
So someone would have had to have jumped on it like instantly. And
Yeah, you are that someone.
Yeah, I know. I am that someone. Like I don't know of anyone else in process in a build right now. So this is rad that we're going to be able to be the first.
As far as I know, this is the only one that is currently under the knife, and we are days away from it running. So it's, with any luck, we will be the first to have this done.
Oh my gosh. Alex and the Envision team are gonna get it all buttoned up, and then the next step is the dyno. That thing is sick! The tuner gave us a crappy map, so we have to tow it to the dyno. It looks kind of sick though.
You want to tell me what we're doing with this thing today?
We're making power.
We're making power.
We're making power. We just adjusted all the fans, trying to get temperatures down, intake air temperatures down, oil and water down. So we're ready for a pull. Let's see what we make.
We just made 845 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque, but we're still a little broken up on the top end, so got a little bit more adjustments to make.
Okay, second run. Car is running great, and it's putting down some stupid power.
856, it's cleaned up a lot though. If you can see the first pull, how much it was breaking up top.
That's what power smells like.
That's consistent power. Yeah, I haven't been running it.
Holy cow! That thing screams!
Rocket ship or what?
Rocket ship. It's a beast. It might be faster than his Turbo S.
Really?
Yes.
That car is fast.
I know.
Hopefully it doesn't scare the deer away when he's hunting. Oh yeah. Dude, Lamborghini can't even compare to that type of mount. Look how good I did.
Wow.